Welcome everyone to the regular school committee meeting of whatever today's date is, August 10th. Thank you. If everyone could please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And at this moment, if we could take a moment of silence for anything you'd like to take a moment of silence for. Thank you. Next up is the consent agenda. Does anyone have anything they'd like to pull?
Good.
Okay, then I will accept a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, consent agenda approved. At this moment, I would like to move action item 9.1 to the top of the agenda. And I will accept a motion to consider, discuss, and vote to approve the scholarships.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Rita, would you like to take it from here?
I would. Thank you. I would just like to acknowledge that being a part of the scholarship committee is one of the most exciting and rewarding, really thrilling subcommittees to be a part of, because this is where we get to see the results of so much of our labor in this school system. And we see the amazing achievements scholastically, sportsmanship, civic, and other extracurricular activities that it's just truly amazing. And I think, gosh, how did these kids do it all? I don't remember doing the sorts of things that you children are accomplishing. Young adults, I'm sorry. But I do want to recognize everyone. And while it's such a difficult thing to select one recipient, because we think all of them should be deserving and are deserving. But Travis and I and the committee worked diligently and reviewed everything pretty carefully so that we are really pleased to announce the recipients of this year's scholarships. I would like to, and I'm going to step out so I can meet and greet you. So the first award is the Ruth Coombs Bogle Memorial Scholarship. And I would also like to note that Susan Finnegan and Leslie Wilson of the Bogle family are here. Granddaughter, daughter are here. So thank you again. Thanks to your family. Ruth Coombs Bogle was a first grade teacher for 25 years and a major contributor to Christian education at the United Congregational Church. The recipient plans to pursue a degree in education. Now, this recipient has been an excellent student throughout her years at Portsmouth High School. She was a member of the League of Listeners and volunteered at the local food pantry. In addition to participating on the tennis team and ski club for all 4 years. Kelly plans to attend Salve Regina University, where she will pursue a career as a nurse practitioner. Undoubtedly, she'll be sharing her skills and knowledge in this healthcare setting. So please, Kelly Hayes. Fabulous campus.
Thank you.
Congratulations again. Yes.
Thank you.
The best part. There you go. That's for your books. Our next award scholarship is the Leslie Briggs Coombs Memorial Scholarship. Leslie Briggs Coombs taught at Harvard University and was the first president of Durfee Tech, now UMass Dartmouth. This recipient is an all-round good scholar and athlete. I mean, I hope when you hear what these students have accomplished, you too will be impressed. So this recipient is a dedicated and engaged student who maintained excellent academic standing throughout high school. She is a 4-year member of the Portsmouth High School dance team, including 1 year as captain. She's on the tennis team and in the chorus. This student has been the recipient of multiple book awards for academic excellence, multiple. This student has participated in the Portsmouth Leadership Academy Mentor Program and is planning on pursuing a degree in finance, and we'd like to congratulate Sophia Faria. Film.
Thank you.
Oh, that's not you. Not you, Sophia.
Thank you.
So, congratulations. Needs any help? We'll refer
Yes.
to Sophia. Nice work. The next recipient should demonstrate good character and be recommended by the principal of their school. And this is the Anthony Raposa Scholarship. This student at Portsmouth High School has been a member of the lacrosse team, tennis team, unified volleyball team, and the medical club. She has also been an earnest and driven scholar who has excelled in her studies. This student plans to attend the University of Rhode Island, where she will pursue a career in Doctor of Pharmacy. And I'm sure she can do it. At this point, I would like to recognize Sadie, Abigail, Marion. You guys. Great. Sadie. Congratulations. I'm going to turn the last couple of scholarships over to Travis Audie, who is also on the committee.
Thank you, Rita.
You're welcome.
I
I'll take my notes.
Perfect. Just to echo Rita's sentiments, when we sat down to review these scholarships and the applicants, I read the first one, I was like, wow, this is very impressive. And then it was just one after another, as good, better. You guys are unbelievable young people. You have so much to look forward to. And I mean, whether it's the school or the parents their involvement, hats off to you. It was very, very impressive to read. So much so that at one point I looked up to the group and I said, you couldn't have written this better if you wrote it yourself about yourself. Like some of the things that teachers and your friends and other leaders were saying about you, awesome, just awesome. So I'll continue with that, but it was just really a pleasurable experience, as Rita shared. This next scholarship is the Doris E. Simmons Memorial Education Scholarship. Doris Simmons was a lifelong resident of Little Compton, an educator and a member of the Little Compton School Committee. And this is a recipient that we thought deserving after reviewing all the applications. This student has been an excellent student throughout their high school career. She has been a member of the volleyball team for 4 years, along with playing in the club league. She is a weekly volunteer at Charlton Memorial Hospital, teaches Sunday school, and is a tutor at Wilbur McMahon School. She was a member of the Portsmouth Leadership Academy as well. This young lady will be attending Florida Atlantic University, where she will be studying psychology, pre-med, and pursuing a career in dermatology as a dermatologist. Sylvia Raposa, congratulations.
No, Riley's not here.
Finally, we have the James Webster Coombs Memorial Scholarship. James Webster Coombs was a Little Compton school superintendent. This recipient demonstrates leadership characteristics and school community support, as well as scholastic achievement. This young lady has excelled academically in honors and advanced placement courses. She is a 2-year member of both the Language Honor Society and the National Honor Society. She has been a member of the PHS dance team for 4 years and served as co-captain. She is very active in community service activities, including being a member of the peer leadership program, and is planning to attend Syracuse University, where she will be studying history and museum studies with a career goal of becoming a museum curator. Riley Turcotte.
is at a museum. She's on
She's
vacation.
literally doing what she wants to do.
Yes.
I was gonna say, what a like driven thing to say. So
Yes.
yes, Riley Turcott is the last recipient.
Can I give you this?
Absolutely. And then, Madam Chair, if I could just add,
Please.
I know many of you have been in the community. One thing we found when we were kind of going through the scholarships is apply for all of them. I know that there's like some gray areas, but many folks, we were like, oh, we'll just, and then so tell your friends, like when this comes around, apply to as many as you can. There's always a shot that you get acknowledged, and congratulations to you all. And I wish you best in the future.
Once again.
Hey, Madam Chair,
Mhm.
could we take a picture of the recipient?
Sure.
Please.
Camera.
I think Carolyn's got hers.
I did that. It was with me the last time, so let's, school committee.
Let's do it.
School committee,
Yeah.
subcommittee.
Over there.
In this thing.
Yeah, you guys are like in the.
Just draft. Yeah, it's just a working draft. We tweak it all the time. Yeah.
Then we
What do you find?
I think we should do it.
Right.
Play like the Jeopardy thing.
Okay.
Sexual harassment and have her. Can we,
We can.
Riley, you gotta get to it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
All right, on to agenda item number 3, spotlight. Collaboration between Wilbur McMahon and Little Compton Community Center Summer Enrichment Camp.
Excellent. Okay, well, thank you. We have in our audience tonight, we have Caitlin Harlow. She's Director of Children's Programming at the Little Compton Community Center. Welcome and thank you for all you do. We have Mary Elizabeth Miller, a Wilbur McMahon School social worker and counselor, and Cara DiGiulio, Wilbur McMahon School's behavior specialist and guidance counselor, especially during the pandemic. I've had, you were talking about what a wonderful experience it was working on the scholarship initiative. And I feel the same way regarding the summer enrichment opportunity that we have launched in collaboration with the community center. Now that we've done it for 2 summers, why haven't we done this in the past? Well, we had federal money that was targeted for that acceptable use. And we have leveraged it. And so, Jonathan, I wonder if you could just go up quickly to our website and go to current school year so I can pull up the ESSER 3 piece.
Want the quick summary?
And scroll down to priority 3. Keep on going. Priority 3, summer enrichment. There we go. The federal funds are pretty prescriptive in nature. They come with a lot of parameters. And one of them is forging partnerships with 501c3s, other community organizations. We did it last year and it was super successful, but I think we knocked it out of the park this year because we learned from not our mistakes, but just timing the registrations, timing the referrals, and so forth. So ESSER funds, like I said, are tied to just a lot of federal priorities during the pandemic. And so this is one of them that the Department of Ed on the federal level and also on the state level promote. And I'd say we've developed a partnership that is a national model. We could probably get together and write something for peer-reviewed journal, and I've discussed that with Caitlin already. And so our objective was to leverage enrichment opportunities within the community as a tool for re-engaging and re-energizing students with identified vulnerabilities, and to offer them not just academic enrichment, but also enrichment in the areas of social emotional learning, physical health, et cetera, and a picture's worth 1,000 words. So let's go to, you have the RIDE recommendation for that particular priority. So you could just go to the website. It's been up there forever, our ESSER 3 summary. And this is one of our programs federally funded that is so, it really is the best that public education has to offer, and a community like Little Compton. So let's get those pictures up, if you will, Jonathan. And I will have Caitlin, children's programming coordinator, give us a little bit of just extemporize a bit and tell us what's going on.
Hi, everybody. So yeah, this was a great program this summer. We had amazing kids. We had an amazing partnership. Just based off these pictures, some things that we're doing. They had mini marshmallows and toothpicks. They were building stuff, good STEM activity that they were able to do, just having fun in front of the community center. Great shot of some older kids. So yeah, they're all smiles. We got that bounce house water slide, had a blast. We were in the school for a week, and some teachers you might recognize, Mrs. Hartlow, came down with her cockroach and showed that off to the kids. So that was really fun.
Had the pleasure of holding the cockroach.
Oh yeah. So that was great. On the playground, we spent a lot of time out there.
Oh,
And the
beautiful.
picture on the right over there, you can see is our bike day, which is super fun. And we all take out our bikes and go down to the field. So that grant helped us out a lot, get all these Wilbur kids involved. So that's really great. And the grant also funded some of our field trips that we took, actually all of our field trips that we took this summer. This is one, all our kids in the light blue shirts down at Buttonwood Park Zoo. That was a good one. And not so much an academic one, but maybe a PE one. We went to Science Zone.
In the priority.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then we took 2 trips to South Shore Beach. So the grant helped fund the buses for those trips, which was really awesome because I know that's been hard to find buses. So so that was really great. The kids were so excited and so happy to go on the field trips. A lot of kids hadn't even been on a bus before. So I mean, just doing that was fun for them. So it was so much fun. They had a blast.
And last year, we could not get buses.
Right.
So this year, Caitlin and I did reach out to First Student. She gave me the dates and the destinations, and we plugged those in April, May, and it was nice and quick. Also, another component of the collaboration, and it's also a requirement, there has to be two-way communication between the community center and the school on student health and wellness. And so Cara DeJulia was at the community center once a week working with the kids. And Mary Elizabeth Miller absolutely helped with, I would say, 100% of the referrals last year and this year. And so it's just a pleasure to leverage these funds and get our kids out of the house, into nature, having fun and learning at the same time, and also working on readiness skills and filling some of those gaps that every kid has experienced the last few years. So this has been one of the highlights of my career as a short 4 years as a superintendent. And I want to thank the 3 of you for everything that you did for the kids, seeing their smiles. I was so happy when you had to move into the gymnasium. Sharing space is another requirement, but they had to move in because of the art show at the community center. So it was a happy sort of dilemma that we could definitely problem solve around. Anything else you would like to offer, Mary Elizabeth or Kara?
I will just say, we had about 30 Wilbur students
Mhm.
who attended at some point this summer, some the whole summer, some part of the summer. And we had 3 teachers, along with Kara and I, that were doing academic tutoring. And a lot of them, transportation would be an issue.
Right.
So it was great because they would just walk over and pick up the kids and then bring them back when they were done, the same as Kara and I could do.
Right.
So between the academic support and the social emotional,
Right.
we reached a lot of kids.
Yeah, so there were about 30 kids at, that we paid for 100% of all of their tuition for 4 weeks. We went over budget a bit, and happily so. And that's absolutely okay. We also had high dosage tutoring here in on site with our teachers, and they were coordinating all of that in math and reading based on iReady data, hitting those grade level benchmarks and beyond. So I cannot say enough about the 3 of you, about the 30 families that registered nice and early so we could really know the landscape for the summer and design those trips. And it's going to be funded again next year. So here we go. Yes, my absolute pleasure and honor.
Thank you. Sounds like a terrific program. Happy to
So
hear
good.
it's happening again next year.
Yep. It's already budgeted and approved by Brian.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thank you. Anyone have any comments from the committee?
I just had one question. How do the 30 families get chosen to go to the program?
There's criteria that is set. And the referrals are done by Mary Elizabeth Miller, the clinician, guidance counselor, with input from the school psychologist, I would imagine, Jamie Sunderland, Kara DiGiulio, classroom teachers, and
So they have to be referred to be in the program through our school.
So what we do is we reach out to those students who are considered at risk academically, social, emotionally, to those families. Originally, I reach out and share the information about the program. And Caitlin and I work together to give a window where they can pre-register before registration for camp is open to the general public. So those families kind of get first opportunity. And then a number of them register at that time, not all of them. Then it opens to the general public. And then we have some other families that decide a little bit later in the game, oh yes, they would like at least something. So they work really directly with Caitlin at that point about what's available. And we work together. So they all sign a release as part of their registration so that Caitlin and I can communicate. So any Wilbur student who signs up for camp is asked to sign a release. And that way I know who's registering, who are our at-risk students, and we can work together.
So if you have a student that's not at risk, can they still participate in that program or no?
They can still participate in the camp program and they still sign a release. So Kara and I can still check in on them. So we have kids who are getting like formal tutoring, formally meeting with one of us. And then we have another smaller group who are our kids that don't necessarily need some individual one-on-one, but we do check in. Sometimes something comes up over the summer that we didn't anticipate, and then we can just jump right in.
Okay, thank you.
So we can have 2 tiers of support.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great
Thanks
job.
so much.
Until next year.
Yes. Awesome. Already approved.
All right, next up, agenda item 4, superintendent's report.
Oh, well, pretty much the same from last month. I know a lot of districts take July off, and see this. I did do a few different things. Staff orientation day is Monday, August 29th, and the first day of school for all students is Tuesday, August 30th. So we're 20 days away from the opening of school. The good news is RIDO, rather than reinvent the wheel and rewrite, the opening plans and get committees together, they do realize that it's a whole new, not post COVID era, but an era where COVID is medically treatable, et cetera. And so we are instead submitting COVID-19 mitigation strategies that sort of complement the plans that we wrote the last 2 years. And by the 22nd, we have to send them the URL regarding just where our mitigation strategies are living and where those former templates and plans are living. We had to do the same thing last year, but we don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's a softer opening, which is nice. Our summer scrub is going really well. Our grade 1 classroom floor had to be replaced, and I watched some of that go in yesterday. It's not the perfect match, but it's close enough.
Yep.
So it looks really good. And next week, Principal McKinnon and I will be at the Rhode Island School Safety Committee Annual Conference. Chief Raines will be meeting with me and Principal McKinnon, Carolyn Cedric, and also Jonathan Gabriel. He has asked to meet with all of us regarding our emergency response plan and some of his suggestions. The good news is he'll also be with us next week. So we'll have a full day of Chief Raines, and he'll have a full day of us. And we'll, it's a perfect opportunity for us to talk about some of our safety protocols that we have upgraded so much this summer. We went from about 8 cameras to 30, about 30. And just the quality is incredible. We've also gone to digital signage. I don't know if you saw, there's a monitor in the lobby. There's a monitor outside of central admin now, and we'll have them throughout the building, and they will help impart information and also help during a crisis, et cetera. And all in all, things are moving forward beautifully. The summer scrub seems to be on schedule. I've yet to work with the custodial staff who thinks that they are going to make it and finish by opening day, but they usually do. And if they don't, we'll definitely afford them some overtime hours if that's absolutely necessary. We have started planning our PD days already. We'll be working once again with restorative practices, offering a nice booster for our entire staff is already certified, and our new staff will be certified. Carolyn Cedric and I are certified as administrators in restorative practices. So we're going into this new school year with 100% of our K-5 teachers absolutely nailing the science of reading for all of their kids, and the ability to offer tier 1 and even some tier 2 interventions in the classroom. That was a state mandate. We met that mandate a year early. And our grade 6 through 8 teachers and non-classroom teachers and the principal, they've all finished sort of an awareness level of the science of reading. And I myself have participated in the graduate course too. So we have a lot of tools in our toolbox this year when it comes to academics. We have the exciting International Baccalaureate announcement that will occur in mid-fall. So get ready for that. And anything else that you would like to add? It's your building, Principal McKinnon.
No, I think you covered it all, Ms. Mitchell.
Jonathan, we do have a new storage unit out back. Oh, that is also an allowable use of ESSER funds, because we have new filters every 6 months that we must swap out of our medical grade air purifiers, and a lot of these big jugs of antibacterial wipes and disinfectant. So we have that out there. We're also getting a commercial grade 20 by 20 canopy on wheels that can be used also for the kiddos in the camp. And so that'll be coming in soon. That's also an allowable use of ESSER funds. I guess they're very prescriptive, and we are leveraging it and making sure all of that funding source goes directly to students and those who serve them. So yeah, it's an exciting school year, 2022, 2023, and I can't wait. I'm sure they agree. They're a little tired. A lot of work. It is, I do want to say one thing. So many of us are approached every summer, all of us on this side of the table. Oh my God, summers must be fantastic. You don't have anything to do. We truly work nonstop in the summer. Of course, we dress down, we're in jeans and sneakers and t-shirts and so forth, but this is when all the work happens. This is when the federal grants are due in Excel grants dashboard. This is when we're getting our biggest warrants, I think, our bill warrants are this in the summer. We're paying for so much, all of our supplies. We're working with the bus companies on routes, nightmare. And so, this team has been absolutely tireless, and I have to include Chris and Jeff and also Paul.
Yep.
They have been amazing. Chris Osborne and Jeff Lopes and Paul Borges. They have what a fantastic custodial staff. And Heather Fitzgerald, and also Joshua Gay, our jack of all trades. So we're busy, and I think you can see the excitement on their faces. Awesome. Take it away, HR.
I have another very quick report this month from the HR department. First of all, we are happy to announce the appointment of Maureen Devlin. She is the new grade 5 ELA and social studies teacher. And we are actively seeking for the upcoming school year daily on-call substitute teachers, teacher assistants, nurses, and custodians. Anyone interested can contact me or Principal McKinnon. And the postings can be accessed through School Spring, and there are also links to them on the district's website. So please contact us if you want to be a sub this year.
If I may, I cannot forget, they have worked all summer too. Kara and Mary Elizabeth have been on site as well. Thank you so much. Kids need support and services year round. And I'm happy to note that Little McMahon School does offer support year round. Thank you.
Thanks. Does anyone have any questions for anybody?
I just had a question on the 4.1.
Yep.
On the 2022-23 school year, we had talked about on how snow days were going to be handled at a previous meeting. And that was bounced back to the school committee could make something. Where do we stand with that? Going into before school starts and before the snow starts to fly, because it started to snow today in Alaska.
Excellent. I'm a diehard skier, so I'm happy. So I think that is an agenda item for another time, or I would say it could be a policy subcommittee task.
Okay, I just wrote it here.
Now that we can do virtual snow days, there is a concern that kids won't have the experience of a real snow day. And so what I've done is I've done a hybrid, half the day, which will count as a full day towards the 180, and then get out there and have a good time. So I've done that twice in the past few years to, I think, high approval rating there, but some parents would like, there are parents all over this issue, on every side of the issue. Might be something that you want to tackle.
Okay. Jennifer, would you mind putting that on our policy list? Thank you. All right, 5.1. Mr. McNamee is not here. He won Mega Millions and he's moved away. No.
He's not going to tell us.
I don't know where he is, but he's not here.
Much so well-deserved vacation.
Undisclosed location. So we'll table that. Committee reports, policy subcommittee, we do not have a report. We postponed our meeting, so we'll get back to that. Portsmouth School Committee report.
Thank you. Portsmouth School Committee met last night. They're also preparing for the start of a new school year. They were doing some summer construction that is either finished or scheduled to be completed before school starts. Fall sports begin August 22nd, with the exception of football starts next Monday, August 15th. And school begins for ninth graders, incoming freshmen on August 30th, and all other grades on August 31st. And they will meet again towards the end of August. I think it's the 23rd, so right before school starts. And I'll have an update for you in September.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wellness Committee?
We have a next meeting next month.
Okay, super. Town Rec Committee?
Nothing really going there, nothing to report.
Okay, and we already did the scholarships. Okay. Any public input? Not much public. Raise your hand if you have anything to say at any
Any of the
point.
participants at home, Jonathan? Any?
No,
Oh, two of them?
just us.
So we've already done 9.1, 9.2. Consider, discuss, and vote to approve the 2022-2023 Wilbur McMahon School Student Handbook Draft.
I'll touch base on that. There's about 8 different changes that we're looking to make. Some of them are still certainly in the draft mode. First one on page 3 is we did change our mission statement based on International Baccalaureate, which is a requirement. And that was a mission statement that our SIT committee looked at over the course of the last 2 months of the school year. We did have it in place, for the end of the school year. So that has changed in there. Page 7, talking to our office staff and to teachers regarding some of our tardy students. There's no consequences to it. So we felt as though we needed to step that up a little bit. In the past, they have done detentions, and I want to call them pretensions. They do it before the school day starts. And I think that's actually a good way of doing it. It's just to make our parents aware that school starts at 8:30 and they need to be in their seat at 8:30. Too many of them, not too many of them, but there are a few that are coming in a half hour, 45 minutes after the start of the school day. 5 minutes a day, I think, equals up to almost 2 weeks of school that they've missed. So it is something that we want to address and get on top of right away. So one of the things we did was, and again, there's a judgment. If it's bad weather, we'll use good judgment on things like that. But if a student has a third tardy per quarter, at that point, we'll issue a morning detention, probably for 8 o'clock. So they're with someone from 8 o'clock to 8:30. As I say to parents, the buses are never late. So if they need bus transportation to get to school on time, then that's what they should be using. Next one on page 11. This is part of the IB, part of the programming to get us certified with the IB, which will be taking place, as Dr. Mitchell talked about, mid-fall. On page 11, we did have, and this, again, it's still in its infancy stages, but it's an academic integrity policy. It's an honesty policy. And in the past, it's been called cheating and plagiarism, but the International Baccalaureate has a specific, they get really down into the specifics of students using integrity in all aspects, not just in school, outside of school. So it is a policy that we will, again, we're still in the draft mode right now. Our SIT team has it, and they're looking to make any corrections to it. The next policy is a dress code on page 12. Just one of the things I noticed, coming into school this year with hats. Bottom line is when kids are in school, the hats and hoods should be off. And I think there was some flexibility because with COVID, the windows were open and it was cool, and it was cool at certain points in time, and we certainly get it. But come, fall and spring where the weather's beautiful and the windows can be open, the hoods and hats should be locked away or put away. So they are going to be, it's going to be asked not to wear their hoods or hats in school. again, it's not a big problem, but it's just something I think we want to kind of get on top of a little bit.
Mr. McKinnon, does the dress code policy support that?
The dress code policy has something, students may not wear clothing, jewelry, and it gets into a couple of different things. It does talk about headgear, except clothing, headgear, one for religious, but it doesn't really say hats or hoods.
A lot of hoods.
So do you think that's something that the policy?
I do think it's something that the
Updated.
policy needs to be updated, yes.
Okay.
It doesn't actually come out and say, a baseball cap but anything that, again, non-religious or cultural things aside,
Right.
things that
Yep.
students are wearing that they shouldn't be wearing. And some of it is for safety reasons as well,
Mhm.
for identification reasons.
Mhm.
We also had this, I think it's part of the masking policy. We're looking at on page 12, 13. Again, just something we have to look at because students were required to wear masks while they were in school. And I think that's going to be something that comes up later on in our meeting here, but something we need to look at, page 12 and 13. There's also talk a little bit later on buses where students have to be masked on buses and in specific seats. That's, again, something that I think we need to look at. And I'm not sure what page that is. Miss Lotz, our IB coordinator, on page 19, talk about an IB assessment also required as part of this certification process is to have a specific assessment policy associated with the International Baccalaureate. We actually put the entire policy in there, but again, it's still in draft mode right now until our SIT committee makes the decision on exactly what they want in it. We are requiring teachers in the 6th, 7th, 8th grade in two different grading windows to work with, to use the IB grading system, which is a system of 0 through 8. You'll see on there, I think we have it in there, John. You know what?
Yep, there it is.
We actually fixed it, but it does align, 0 aligns to a 0, obviously, 1 aligns to a 50%, so on and so forth. That is going to be a requirement that each of the teachers will have to use twice during the school year. Again, as part of the International Baccalaureate assessment. And finally, we just had some, just the dates that are on there. We had our parent-teacher conference dates as, I believe it's the November.
This one has the old dates on it still.
You know what? I have them in here.
Those are updated.
Yep. We have the new dates for the parent-teacher conferences and the makeup date, and they are November 10th and 15th from 4 to 7 o'clock.
Thank you. Now, if I remember correctly, this is one of those things we oddly vote on that,
Acknowledge it, yeah.
yeah, we vote on it, but it's a work in progress and it's just sort of saying that we've seen it and
Obviously,
weird vote.
the hats are going to have to be a policy issue.
Yeah.
The mission statement is something that, we were able to put in because that's a SIT program. In addition to the assessment and the integrity policy, we'll clean it up.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
I do.
Excellent.
I do have a question.
Shoot.
Does IB have any homework policies?
I don't know if there's necessarily any homework policy. In our own policy itself, in our assessment, there is a homework policy. It is something that within the policy, we have to be consistent in all of the grades. And the example I'll use, homework should only be no more than 10% of their overall grade, but we need to be consistent on that with grades 6, 7, and 8, and with all the teachers within that. One teacher can't go 15, 20% with
Yep.
homework. There needs to be a consistency with it. So that is part of the assessment policy that we're going to be looking at.
Just curious. Thank you.
No problem.
So I just jotted and made some notes. Some of them you've already answered. The teachers' names need to be updated.
I think we updated those. I believe on the new one, we did update, including our 2 new hires in both grade 5 and our 7th, 8th grade math. They have been added. I don't think you'll see them in there, but they are in the new draft. We do have a 0.4 design position that we are working on. We have a possible candidate. She'll actually most likely be starting the year, maybe not as that candidate, but possibly as a substitute teacher, but she will, we're hoping, be able to fill that position. And that's for 1 year. The teacher who currently is our design has taken a 1 year's leave of absence.
That's right. Under the dress code, and I know you mentioned it again, I guess I'd have to go back, but it speaks of the requirement of face mask being,
That'll be removed.
That's all been removed.
It's all been removed.
okay. The after-school section, where it says all after-school activities will be limited to until conditions allow for activities to occur in a safe manner. Can you elaborate on that?
You know what? I think that is going to have to be something, as far as I'm concerned, everything should be full steam ahead.
That's from last year.
Yeah. We'll probably have to remove that.
Absolutely.
Is that after school under the A's? I'm assuming. Yeah, here we go.
Mhm.
Gonna do that right now.
And there's a thing that spoke about after-school procedures. I'm sorry, afternoon dismissal procedures.
Mhm.
It just talks about to adhere to social distance practices to ensure safety and well-being of everyone.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. I'm not sure what it looked like in terms of dismissals, before January 13th when I started. But if you talk to the teachers, you talk to Mr. DeLeo and Mr. Ford, who are our head teachers, the dismissals, the way it worked with grade levels going out different doors is probably as seamless as it's ever been. And a lot of that has to do with, we're all spread out. We're not all going out, maybe 2 sets of doors. The bus group goes out by the main office, by the gymnasium area. Students who walk home or get picked up, some of the older kids who get picked up by parents go out that same door. But the grade levels, when they're being picked up by their parents, going out the 6 or 7 different doors that are in the building really works seamlessly. There's never any congestion at any one door. So that's actually a good thing. I don't think there's any plan to change that so that they're going out either the main office door or the gymnasium doors over there. That's my thinking on that.
It's the social distancing
Yeah.
piece.
Okay, so that's what you're referring to as far as the social, by using the different doors.
Mhm.
So the last thing that I noticed was just that update the dates for the student pictures.
And those have actually been changed in here. October 25th is our first one. And I think it's December 5th is the makeup date.
Okay. As long as
December
you-
6th, it's a Tuesday, excuse me.
And this is all in the digital form.
It's on the working form that we have right here that we'll give out as soon as the drafts have been
I
completed.
think you have an old draft.
Yeah, you have the one from 21, 22.
Yeah.
What I mean, though, is it's digital, that we're not printing these, is I guess is what I'm asking.
That's correct.
Yeah, so here's the current one where
Those
that's all,
days are over.
it's all been crossed out. I see what's.
Yeah, that's the,
Do we have them available for people without internet or out access?
What's that?
I would
handbook.
assume that Heather could print it.
There are copies.
We
in the main office.
could make copies.
Dates. I don't know what those other dates were.
See if I don't know if pictures are in the school pictures, might be on the S.
page is that?
Anyone have
Let me see if I
any questions? Handbook? No.
A lot of work in a handbook.
It's nice to see it now, even though it's still a work in progress. Sometimes I think we've had special meetings to look at it before, like the day before and stuff, so.
There's a lot to change.
There is.
There's so much COVID.
Fifth.
Yeah, so it's nice to get our peepers on it.
October 25th, it's a Tuesday, and December 6th.
Okay, thank you. Lost my place here. So we're gonna, I will entertain a motion to approve the 2022-2023 draft handbook.
So
So
moved.
second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 9.3, consider, discuss, and vote to approve the 2022-2023 Wilbur McMahon Employee Handbook.
All right, had very few changes this year. We changed the date again, as in the student handbook, the reference to the masking was removed. And other than that, we just updated links to policies within.
Make sure that they were hot links and.
Anything specific? that-
That is also.
Those were
Did you-
the only changes.
Awesome. Thank you. Anyone have any questions?
Nope, looks good.
All right, I will accept a motion to approve the 2022-2023 Employee Handbook.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 9.4, consider to discuss and vote to approve, to retire the masking policy. We did not have the policy meeting. We will revisit this at another time. 9.5, consider, discuss, and vote to approve any requests for information from administration and or legal counsel. Does anyone have anything for this item?
I do. As far as for the bus contract, as far as, can we get these, can we look at them and get these done? I know that's been, I know it's been done.
I
Maybe Sean can
land the plane.
pick up on this.
Thank you.
Okay.
I feel like we don't have to vote on that because it should be done.
Yeah.
Is that
Yep.
cool?
Yep.
Okay,
Business manager and Sean will work on that.
okay. Travis, do you want to add
Attorney.
something?
My only request, Lori, do we have the final tally for both students for Wilbur 2022-23 as of today, and then also going to Portsmouth from Little Compton?
Not yet.
When will we know those final numbers?
When we roll over. Jonathan, do you know when we'll be rolling over?
We actually started that, and I think the main office has started to register all of the new students and incoming and transfers. So I would say in the next week at the most, those numbers should be finalized.
Cool.
Unless anybody else registers.
Awesome. Thank you both.
Summer, we're in that sort of nether region.
No worries.
Anything else?
Let me ask you, so if you're tabling this 9.4, is that going to affect them finalizing their book?
No.
No,
Because they can just remove it later.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because didn't we already suspend those policies anyway? So they're not,
There was just one. I think you
Yeah,
took
there's-
3 and rolled it into one.
Yeah. The masking policy is like
Just one.
the one that has like the 30 student requirement.
oh, that was like our updated one after we, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Sort of flatline 3 and then consolidated.
gotcha.
Yeah.
So you would retire it, and then if there was a masking situation, we would have to re-implement a masking?
We'll have to have that discussion. at another
Yeah, we're
time.
gonna have that discussion. We're gonna bring Sean into the discussion.
just
and then-
curious.
Yeah, no,
Policies.
I mean, because I'm saying like Hannah is, if we just keep it on the burner, like it's
I wasn't
inactive
saying that.
or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I would think.
we may, I had a thought and thought we should meet and discuss it.
Yeah.
And then this has been a busy week and I haven't been able to meet with Sean, so
Understood.
we're gonna we're gonna connect and discuss it. Oh, sorry.
If I may, so with the policy that is currently written that you have all approved, there is additional flexibility that allows for the administration to make changes to accompany what our circumstances are now on the ground. So exactly what you're saying, Travis, in terms of we don't necessarily need to retire a policy. It can exist as is, and we can work within those guidelines as you've established. So in the event, hopefully it never arises and likely won't, but in the event that we need to backtrack, you're not having another 2-3 meetings, policy subcommittee meetings to readopt.
Beautiful.
The same.
That's what I wanted. It allows beautiful. It's
that flexibility.
let's not burn the boats yet.
So we can certainly do that. I mean, the policy subcommittee is still going to meet. We can discuss that in a little bit more finer detail at that point, but that likely is a path you could consider.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
Anything else, anyone? Okay. 10.1, I consider a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.